Welcome back to Golden Blue Dude, home of the video every single day. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you like college football. Well, the new AP Top 25 is out, so let's run down that real quick. Number 1 is Georgia. They're up one spot. They got all 62 first place votes. Well deserved. They're 6-0. They went on the road, beat number 18 Auburn 34-10. Can anybody even be competitive with Georgia? That's only the second offensive touchdown they've allowed this year. Number 2 is Iowa. They jump up one spot. They're 6-0. They beat number 4 Penn State at home 23-20. Number 3 Cincinnati. They're 5-0. They jump up 2 spots. They beat Temple at home 52-3. And that's what they're going to have to do from here on out. Bury their opponents. Number 4 is Oklahoma. They're 6-0, up 2 spots. They beat number 21 Texas 55-48 after a quarterback change. They went from Spencer Rattler to Caleb Williams. Number 5, this is where Alabama falls. They're 5-1. They fall 4 spots, and they lost on the road to a bad Texas A&M team 41-38. Personally, I thought they should have fallen further. The AP poll loves Alabama. Number 6, Ohio State, 5-1. They're up 1 spot. They're rebounding from that loss to Oregon. They beat Maryland at home 66-17. Number 7, this is where Penn State falls. They're 5-1. They fall 3 spots. They lost on the road to number 3 Iowa 23-20. It was an epic game just like I thought it was going to be. Number 8, Michigan. They're 6-0. They jump up 1 spot. They go on the road, barely survive Nebraska 32-29. Hey, a win's a win. Number 9, Oregon. They were on their bye week. They're 4-1. They fall 1 spot. Pac-12 needs Oregon to do really, really well from here on out. It's their only hope to get into the playoffs. Number 10, Michigan State. They're 6-0. They jump up 1 spot. They go on the road and obliterate Rutgers 31-13. Number 11, Kentucky. So close to the top 10. 6-0, up 5 spots. They beat LSU at home 42-21. Number 12, Oklahoma State stays the same, 5-0. This was their bye week. Number 13, Ole Miss. They're 5-0. They jump up 4 spots after beating number 13 Arkansas at home 52-51 after a failed 2-point conversion by Arkansas. Number 14, Notre Dame stays the same, 5-1. They go on the road, get a good win at Virginia Tech 32-29. That might have been their toughest remaining game on their schedule. Number 15, Coastal Carolina. They stay the same, 6-0. They go on the road and beat Arkansas State 52-20. Number 16, Wake Forest. They stay undefeated, 6-0. They jump up 3 spots, go on the road and beat Syracuse 40-37 in overtime. Syracuse is a bad team, but Syracuse has a knack for upsetting better teams in the Dome. So that's a good win for Wake Forest. Number 17, this is where Arkansas falls. They're 4-2. They fall 4 spots. So basically, Ole Miss and Arkansas flip-flop. Of course, Arkansas lost at number 17 Ole Miss after they failed on a 2-point conversion 52-51. Number 18, Arizona State. The Sun Devils are bouncing back. They're 5-1. They jump up 4 spots and they beat Stanford at home 28-10. Number 19, BYU. They're 5-1. They fell 9 spots after losing to Boise State at home 26-17. Bye-bye any shot at getting to the playoffs. Number 20, Florida. They stay the same, 4-2. They beat Vanderbilt at home 42-0. It's basically like beating a high school team. Number 21, Texas A&M. They're 4-2. They were non-ranked, but they beat number 1 Alabama at home 41-38. Whoever saw that coming, raise your hand. Not me. Number 22, NC State. They're 4-1. They were on their bye week and they jump up 1 spot. Number 23, SMU. 6-0. They jump up 1 spot. They go on the road and beat Navy 31-24. Cincinnati needs SMU to stay undefeated when they play them later on in the season. Number 24, San Diego State. 5-0, up 1 spot. They beat New Mexico at home 31-7. Number 25, Texas. They're 4-2. They fall 4 spots. They lost to number 6, Oklahoma 55-48 after the Sooners made a quarterback change. So the AP Top 25, that's fine and dandy. But what about the teams that had a bad week? They need to be talked about as well, just to be fair. So that's right, it's time for Golden Blue Dude's worst 25 for week 6. Quick reminder, this does not include Arizona, UNLV, Vanderbilt, Kansas, or the New Mexico schools. And I usually put UMass and UConn on here, but I made an exception this week, and you'll see why. Starting off with number 25, these are the teams that had the worst week 6. Number 1, Alabama. They make the list. They go on the road and lose to a bad Texas A&M team 41-38. For whatever reason, the Aggies actually had offense in this game. Alabama mounts a comeback. We think they're going to win, but nope, Texas A&M beats Alabama. Tied with Alabama for that 25th spot is Memphis. They're 3-3. They lost at Tulsa, who's 2-4, 35-29 in a game that saw an offensive explosion in the 4th quarter. That was a weird game to watch. Number 24, BYU. They're 5-1. They lost to Boise State at home 26-17. Every time I went against BYU, came back and bit me and I lost that spread pick. Well, this week I went with BYU and it bit me. I lost that that spread pick. That's why you're on this list. Number 23, Louisville. They're 3-3. They lose to Virginia at home, 34-33. They had a chance to win that game, but they gave it away. They're not a horrific team, but they had a bad week 6. Number 22, Texas. They're 4-2. Man, they were beating number 6, Oklahoma, 28-7. Then the Sooners switch quarterbacks. The Sooners come storming back and beat Texas 55-48. Yeah, that's having a bad week 6. Number 21, Syracuse. They're 3-2. They lost to number 19, Wake Forest at home, 40-37 in overtime. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that's beat the better team in the dome. Usually they can do that. Not this time. That's why you're on the list. Number 20, Virginia Tech. They're 3. They lost to number 14, Notre Dame at home, 32-29. I thought Virginia Tech was going to win this game. Of course they didn't. It lands them on this list. Number 19, FIU. They're 1-5. They're having a bad overall season. But in week 6, they lost to Charlotte at home, 45-33. Number 18, Duke. They're 3-3. They lost to Georgia Tech at home. Final score was 31-27. And Georgia Tech got obliterated by Pitt at home last week. Number 17, South Carolina. They're 3-3. They lose to Tennessee 45-20 on the road. Tennessee is all of a sudden looking good. Did they challenge Kentucky for second place in the SEC East? We'll find out. Number 16, Rutgers. They continue to swirl down the toilet bowl. They're 3-3. They lose to number 11, Michigan State at home, 31-13. Wasn't competitive at all. Staying in the Big Ten, number 15, Maryland. They're 4-2. They lose to number 7, Ohio State, 66-17. That's an embarrassing loss. And that'll land you on my worst 25 every stinking time. Number 14, Temple. They're 3-3. They lose to number 5, Cincinnati on the road, 52-3. They should have just forfeited the game before they even played. That was a shellacking. Number 13, Tulane. They are 1-5. So they're having a terrible 2021 college football season. They lose to Houston at home, 40-22, and their misery continues. And at the beginning of the season, we thought Tulane was a good team. Apparently, they're not. Number 12, LSU. They continue to suck worse and worse. They're 3-3. They lose at number 16, Kentucky, 42-21. Never had a chance. Number 11, Western Michigan. They're 4-2. They lose to Ball State at home, 45-20. Is this the same team that beat Pitt on the road? That's crazy. Number 10, San Jose State. Letting me down big time this year. I thought San Jose State was going to be decent in the Mountain West. Nope. They're 3-3. They lose to Colorado State, who lost to Vanderbilt, 32-14. Can't lose to a team that lost to Vanderbilt. Number 9, Southern Miss. They're 1-5. They lost to UTEP at home, 26-13. They're having a terrible season. Number 8, Western Kentucky. Probably the best one-win team in the nation right now, but their record is still 1-4. That's bad. They lose to UTSA at home, 52-46. It was a great game. Number 7, Texas Tech. They're 4-2. And yes, that's the team that beat West Virginia last week. They lose to TCU at home, 52-31. That's not a good sign for West Virginia. Number 6, USC, the Trojans. They continue to fall into oblivion. They're 3-3. They lose at home to Utah, 42-26. That was an embarrassing loss for the Trojans. Number 5, Miami of Ohio. They're 2-4, and they lost to Eastern Michigan, 13-12. They didn't score one single touchdown, 4 field goals. Number 4, UConn. Like I said at the beginning of this video, usually I make a note saying that UConn and UMass do not make this list. We already know that they sucked, but this week UConn played UMass, and UConn lost. They're 0-7. They lose to UMass, who's now 1-5, 27-13. You only managed 13 points against one of the worst teams in the nation. That's why you're on the list. But from now on, you're not making it. We already know you suck. Number 3, Illinois. They're 2-5. This week they lose to Wisconsin, who's 2-3, 24-0 at home. That's bad. Number 2 is going to be North Carolina. They're 3-3. They lose to Florida State at home, 35-25. And Florida State's only 2-4. Wait, Florida State's actually on a winning streak? So 2 years in a row, North Carolina loses to a bad Florida State. Whatever Florida State's doing against North Carolina, keep doing it. It's working. And of course, my number 1 team for the worst 25 this week, same as last week, West Virginia. Last week, we lost to the second worst team in the Big 12, but now we're the second worst team in the Big 12. This week, what do? They follow that up by losing at Baylor, 45-20. That puts us at 2-4, and the biggest question is, will West Virginia win one more single game the rest of the season? I don't know. They better get it together in the bye week where it's going to be a very long season in Morgantown. Y'all let me know what you think about my worst 25. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.